Previously on the Blood-Soaked Rose. And you see already that some of its gaping wound starts to close.
Remember what spells Eve told you to prepare?
Yes.
Thank God.
Aurelius very much remembers those spells.
The blow breaks your ribs, causing immense pain when you bend and strain.
That was the first attack. Swipe out at you, catch you in the torso, and thud into your ribs. Fuck. 26 to hit.
What are you...
Fucking hell. Crit fumble.
Again.
Decapitation.
What? Reaches down and just...
I would advise that you run.
Your form bursts through the rest of your clothing, and you transform into a beast as you charge forward. And with a shriek that you hear both with your physical ears and deep in your mind, the beast expires. And now, blood and bodies on the snow. Snarling, guttural roars recede into the night. Bryok, you're left, facing a scene of carnage. A dead Katakan, and a dead Witcher, and a dead guardsman. In a small, frozen scene, slowly being erased by a layer of falling snow. A shiver goes over you, partially from the cold, partially from the draining adrenaline after the events of the last minute. What now?
Well, I think it's important that we do what we came here to do. Bryok will put away his bow in his bow sheath, sling the arrows, which are round, or put his arrows to his waist, step over to the dead beast, the vampire,
The
Katakan, take the witch's sword and remove its head.
The Witcher's steel or silver sword? I mean,
Whichever one
Whichever.
the witcher was using.
the silver sword was in her hand, so just beyond her lifeless hand is her silver sword. You take that up, and there's a kind of slight sizzling you hear as you sever the monster's head. And after a short work, the beast's head is yours, gold rings in its ears and all.
Bryok will look to the decapitated head of the former witcher,
Kind of mangled, crunched up head, yeah.
stand over the head,
Yeah.
and say, well, I'm glad we know where we stand, and begin to rummage through the witch's clothes and possessions, and I'll make a business appraisal roll.
Okay, go, right. See what she's got on her. You're being looted. That's, well, she's not here, so.
Also, to be fair, the Witcher's not standing.
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah. No, I know.
It was a joke for me.
Hey!
25.
Excellent.
I don't have my business tools with me.
No, but you can have a look at what she's got and what it's worth.
What is your business score, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
6.
Okay, yeah, you maxed it. Yeah.
So yeah, you can have a look through her possessions, and see if there's anything you can quickly gather up. Well, she has her weapons. She has a witch medallion.
She has some 2 swords. Mm-hmm. They're valuable.
Sure are.
Fantastic.
They're well made. Yeah.
Great. She has a medallion. Mm-hmm. That looks silver.
Yep.
It's got a little cat on it.
Cat. Yep.
That's great. Some papers.
Yeah. Sure.
Some scrolls.
Yeah, it's just little studies and things, and monster knowledge scraps and notes and stuff.
Might try and read them later, but they could be traded or sold to the highest bidder.
Sure.
Other than that, I don't see anything else that's worth keeping.
Okay.
Anything else that should be there? 2 swords, a witch's medallion, some formulae, and
I think she spent all her crowns, so
yeah, a water skin.
yep.
Yeah.
There would be crowns, but I took them.
Yes. Well, at least you're out of your debt now. God. Yeah, so what next? That takes you a few minutes. sort of gently rifling through her possessions. Yeah,
The mage dropped some things before he
his jacket mainly.
turned inexplicably into a werewolf.
Yeah.
Let's gather those things up as well.
So there's a Demeterian collar on the ground,
Let's grab that.
and his jacket as well. His long coat.
His long black coat.
Long black
Fantastic.
coat,
I'll grab that. I think with the long black coat, I'll kind of make a knapsack, like a sack,
Right, you
like a
tie it up,
carrying
yeah.
sack.
Yeah. You search the coat or anything?
Just the pockets. See if
Yeah, there's a
anything-
medallion in there. Yeah.
There's an amulet. Yes.
It's an amulet. Give me
An education roll or like
education roll's fine. Yeah.
18.
Yeah, it's a spellcasting focus. Yeah, I've
And
seen
it-
him use it that way.
It can join the witches one.
Yep.
They both look expensive.
Yep.
I'll be coming back for that.
Here comes the raging capitalist.
The raging pragmatist.
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 Yes. What's next?
Bryok.
Briel something else.
Yeah.
Briel returns.
Bryok will look around at his fellow elves, see what they seem to be observing.
You can give me a human perception roll.
Sure. It's not great. It's 17.
There's a lot of confusion and kind of fear. They don't really understand what happened, per se. It's very chaotic and very sudden. Mm-hmm. This creature killed someone as you surmised they had been warned would happen.
Yeah.
You know, there's a creature that defends this area for you. But then a witcher came out, a horrible battle ensued, then a werewolf, and suddenly the witcher and the creature is dead and the werewolf is gone, and there's you.
Cool.
Carefully, calmly, removing the creature's head, taking the possessions. And so there's just a real kind of, there's a wariness and a sort of shocked blankness.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, no one approaches you, no one runs in fear, they're just observing.
There's also the second guard that was there. That
He's
didn't
long gone.
He
He
bolted
is
the
long
fuck out of
gone,
there. Yeah.
To that end, Bryok will say, "My friends, elves have no masters." And he'll kick the dead monster, throw his red sash down on it, go to the human guard, pick his body for crowns, and walk away.
Yeah, he doesn't have much on him. 5 crowns.
Take it for every penny.
Ellen, did you have
has-
any remaining crowns?
And he has what looks like a lucky charm on him, like a rabbit's foot.
That can add to the collection of medallions.
Yeah, it's nothing much. It's just a little superstitious knick-knack.
As far as
Didn't help him much.
as far as Bryok's concerned, it helped. Everyone's medallion has helped them as equal much.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Put
That's
your
true.
faith in yourself, not in objects.
Okay, sure.
That's why you trade in them.
And then do you leave, or what's going on?
I'm leaving and going back to the trade district, to the trade quarter.
Yeah.
I'm not covered in blood, other than maybe some sticky blood from the
Yep.
monsters whose head I have. Other than that,
Just give me a streetwise.
sure. 20.
Your knowledge of the city by now is enough that you can you know the ways to go to get back unmolested without being confronted or stopped or harassed. Essentially, you know which groups to avoid, when to hang back, which alleyways to take, and when to slip through the trade quarter gate to get back to your place of lodging.
I sleep.
Next morning,
Yes.
Aurelius, you awake.
Where?
Good question. Very, very good question. You're in an alleyway somewhere, covered in blood around your mouth, down your neck, and you have a few strips of red cloth, presumably taken from your victims, arrayed around you.
How does he feel?
Very tired.
Yes.
Groggy, weird, but also in a weird way, kind of satiated. Kind of like you've had a really, really big meal, but that meal is violence.
Aurelius, he'll open his eyes, just take a second, just blankly kind of staring forward, and eventually will, hands on his knees, he'll pull himself up to his full height, and he'll take a look around. This feeling that he has within him, this aftermath, is something he hasn't experienced for a number of years.
Yeah.
It's a very familiar feeling, but it's also foreign in the sense of it's an old friend.
Yes, you've had the collar for a long time now, and you've managed to keep this suppressed.
The events, the last thing he remembers clearly is the Witcher going down and his hand going to his neck, and he's kind of like just stands frozen in the street as he tries to just like allow his memory to come flooding back, and he can remember right, and he made a choice. Something that, ironically enough, the whole point of the curse is that choice is taken away from him.
Yes.
But he made a choice, and from then, just like someone's taken that reel of film and just
Scene missing.
snipped. He can feel, he knows, snippets, flash of a claw, maybe the face of an elf, or the sound of his panting, guttural voice that he rampages through a nondescript street. But other than that, nothing.
Yeah, all flashes. Can you make an endurance roll for me?
He turns again.
Yeah, that's right. So if you were curious about the endurance rolls having him make, it's the effects of having Dementerium touch his skin.
Yes. It's 15 he's on.
Okay, it's cold. You are cold because you're topless, but you're not kind of actively hindered by it right now. It's unpleasant, but you're not suffering directly from it right now.
He'll take, as he feels the effects of the outside wind and cold on his skin, he takes a moment to try and get his bearings and look around and see if he knows where the fuck he is.
Yeah, make a streetwise.
This is going to be a 16.
Yeah, you're in the slums. You're probably about 3 streets away from the Hairy Bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Great. Honestly, he'll
You can get your bearings now, yeah.
Yeah, he'll wander. If he knows roughly where he is, he'll wander to the first home he can find, just the first front door he can find. And he'll he'll lean himself against the front and he'll just rap and knock 3 times. And kind of like head down, he'll just wait, kind of swaying slightly.
A woman kind of cracks the door slightly, sees you, your throat and chest covered in blood, and the door closes.
He takes a moment, sighs, he goes, I require your patience, your assistance, and your goodwill. I am in need of some clothing and a helping hand. If you would be so kind.
You bloody murderer, aren't you? I should call the town guard.
I lost my way last night, and I found myself on the wrong part of town, and I paid grievously for it. I am hurting. I am in pain. Please help me.
You try somewhere else.
I must insist.
I've got children, and you go somewhere else.
You can make a persuasion if you want, but it's a tough one.
Yeah, he's going to... Please, this is a town under siege, and goodwill and good people are hard to come by.
You're going to rob me, I know it. I let you in this door, and you'll strangle me, kill my kids, take everything I've got. I'm not stupid.
Do you have a knife within your house? Hold it at me, and if I make any sudden movement, if I do anything that makes you even remotely uncomfortable, feel free to defend your household and your children, but you shall not need it.
Good luck. It's a good attempt, but you still have to roll really high to really put that earnestness in your voice. Are you crit? Oh, fucking hell.
29.
Okay, yeah. Well, I set it at like 20. So
There you go.
yeah.
He just stays still and allows those words to just echo, and he just focuses on his breathing and his eyes closed.
I mean, narratively, you think perhaps that the silence means that, the attempt is hopeless, but after a few heartbeats, the door cracks open. The point of a blade pokes out. I won't hesitate. If you cross me, I won't hesitate.
He almost Geyser says, you want to maintain yourself at a 5-foot distance so that I can't lash out?
All right, come in.
And he'll wait for her to step back and kind of maintains that kind of distance. He'll keep his arms where they can be seen. And he says, I only ask 3 things of you. Place to wash up, a bite to eat, and some clothes upon my body, and then you shall never see me again.
I could spare a pitcher of water, just drawn it up from the well. You're welcome to wash yourself up back there, and And my late husband has a few clothes. Maybe something will fit around you.
Much obliged.
What was the third one?
Food.
But I've nothing to spare. Me and my children are already hungry. We've got nothing to spare.
2 out of 3 is more than sufficient.
And if maybe you've got some. I mean, we helped you. Maybe you could help us.
And he thinks for a moment. He says, "I am in touch with chaos. I could put a blessing upon your household."
Well, for good fortune or something.
Exactly that.
Okay. Well, all right then. Okay. Just don't be long. You're scaring my children.
And he allows her to kind of keep that wide berth. He'll get shown to the washroom. He'll take his time. He'll have the bucket in front of him, wash his face clean of blood. He'll wash his entire body with the exception of one of his hands on the palm side, which he can leave like down out of sight, but he maintains some blood on him. And he perhaps left at the door for him is some clothes that might be slightly...
Yeah, it's a very simple clothing, a tunic, maybe a worn thin jacket as well, yeah.
Do they have any, like a pair of old boots or a pair of old shoes that they can give to him as well? Pops on the tunic, puts on the boots, and kind of adapts a posture as he looks at himself in the mirror, gives himself a long, hard look, and he walks out, and he looks to her, and he closes his eyes, and he places one hand on the wall of the house, and says, "May no ill will befall your house this winter."
Oh, thank you. Oh, it feels... Oh, I can feel the blessing. Oh, I can feel it. I feel safer already. Thank you.
Thank God he didn't have to roll for that. And
they're a superstitious lot, these peasants.
That's what he's got to hope for.
Yeah.
And he'll turn his back on her, and he'll much appreciated. This won't be forgotten.
Okay, thank you for not harming us. But if you do have a few coins...
Unless they were in the clothing that you gave me, unfortunately I have nothing to give.
Oh, okay.
And he turns around and he walks off.
Good day to you.
And Aurelius Tarnair, he's got the fist clenched behind his back with the remnants of the blood on him. Mm-hmm. He will head towards the coroner's office from the previous day.
So you arrive there early morning. Doesn't take you too long to kind of get yourself up. You kind of awoke with first light. You took half an hour or so to get yourself ready, and then you can wearily drag yourself off to Bertrand's.
Yeah.
Do you do anything, or are you just going to wait at the Bryok? Are you just going to wait at the...
I'm waiting for the mage.
Okay. So you show up at the coroner's place?
He'll rap upon the door.
Just a moment, please.
And you hear him kind of coming up from downstairs. Oh, hello.
Hello, Bertram. May I be allowed to enter, please?
Yes, well...
Forgive the early morning, it has been an eventful...
Well, yes, no,
night.
you're one of the guardsmen, and the body of your colleague has been delivered to me. She's downstairs.
There were casualties, but the job has been done.
Ah, right, you're here at a bounty then?
And he unfurls his hand to show the blood upon his hand, and he says, "This is the price I paid."
Without a proof positive of the creature's demise, I'm afraid I can't part with the Duke's money, you understand.
It has been a long night, Bertram, and I don't need to tell you that vampires are not your ordinary cadaver. There is nothing left of the vampire to produce.
Well, I know very well that, vampire teeth and sometimes their saliva are made use of in alchemical productions. Vampires don't simply disappear once they die.
You've met a Katakan, have you?
I've done my reading. I have, friends in the alchemical business. They produce some of my preservatives and such. I know more than your layman, and I believe you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes, and without any sort of proof whatsoever, barring a bit of blood on your hands, I have no way of knowing that this creature is truly dead. As far as I can tell, it killed again twice, and you simply fled the scene. I don't mean to cast aspersions, but I must maintain a healthy skepticism, especially when the Duke's purse is on the line.
And you see him, he's visibly getting annoyed. He's trying to contain it, but the more Bertram kind of talks, he's feeling more flustered, more out of control, and he's going to try a different tactic. And he's going to try and scare this man into parting with the coin.
Okay, yep.
And he stares up and he says, Bertram, I have had a long night, and I'm not here to have to convince a lowly peasant such as yourself that I have done the job that you required me to do. It has been done. I expect to be paid, and there will be retribution if it is not forthcoming.
Okay, intimidation.
He's not a very good intimidator, so here we go.
He didn't give any specific harms. That would have helped, I think.
Yeah. Well, because I can't... I mean, I would have done the startings of a magic, but he can't do it without... there's no, you can't do... there's no, what's the word?
You don't need a spellcasting focus to cast magic.
No, sorry. There's no... fuck it. What is it called when it's not a first level spell?
Cantrip?
Yeah, there's no, cantrip sort of thing. It's just I only have fireball him to death or nothing.
I feel like you could produce a little bit of flame.
The stakes are high.
Yeah. We'll see how this works. Otherwise, I should have cast...
mind manipulation.
That's a perfect use of mind manipulation.
Yeah, you can make him afraid, yeah.
Yeah, let's do mind manipulation first and see if it works, and then I'll do the intimidation on top.
So that's a resist magic, I believe.
So mind manipulation is resist magic.
Yeah, so it's just his basic will. So he doesn't have a skill in that, he's just some guy. 8.
24.
So, what are you... I imagine fear is the emotion that you put into him?
Yeah, he's looking for fear. Because I can... well, to be fair, it actually says forced to feel either hatred, love, depression, or euphoria.
So it specifies those 4 things.
It said those 4 is what it specifies. I'm not sure if those are just examples or whether it is to specify those 4 emotions, but that is as it is written.
Pretty sure if it says that and not an emotion like that... Interesting.
Yeah, that's why I'll be very...
Chris is having a quick look up now. Yeah, one of the following. Yeah. What are you going to give him?
I will go for... because it can't be like a that specific thing to feel something. He'll just react with that emotion based on those things. So, you know what? Let's fucking try this. Love. And then I'm going to do the intimidation roll on top of that.
Okay.
Let's just see what that can...
The thinking being you're going to make him love you and then hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you, but...
Yeah.
Now that you've decided, I would have gone for euphoria.
Yeah.
For the beast is dead. Celebrate.
I wasn't sure whether it was going to be euphoria for the kingdom. You know what I mean? I didn't know which way it would swing.
It'll give you take a bonus of +3 on that because you've got his emotions in your...
I want it to be favourable
sweaty
to me.
palm. Yes.
It also might last for a single round, so it might not last long.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to do it for minutes we previously did?
Yeah, we can do it 1d10 minutes. Yeah.
5 minutes.
Okay.
And intimidation, 17.
Well, I look, you know I have the utmost respect for you, and I know you would only threaten me harm if you were feeling extremely stressed by the situation. I am so sorry to have caused you such distress. Yes, about the purse. I'm so sorry to have doubted you. You are such a man of awe-inspiring honor and power. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting carried away.
I did not mean to yell. I would not be so passionate if it was of the utmost importance.
Of course you wouldn't. Master Aurelius, of course you wouldn't. Such a man as yourself.
Bertram, you are so patient with me.
I know. I feel like we're old friends. Yes, the purse. Yes, the Hadron had it set aside. So, if I may, is there... I must write a report to him.
To Hadron?
Yes, to say that the deed is done and the patrols are safe in that area of the city. It was his task to me and would prevent widespread bloodshed in the Temple Quarter.
Serpent Street is the location. We lost the life
Yes.
of our Witcher
Yes.
and of a patrolman who had come forth bravely to assist us.
I see, yes.
And I was able to fell the beast.
If you don't mind, what was it?
It was a Katakan, a high vampire.
I see. Ah, yes, that explains the exsanguination. I shall have to make note of it. I will dash off a letter to Duke Hadron at once.
Of course, that can be your day's events. If you don't mind, I do have to rush off. Could we please... Could I...
Oh, yes, of course. Here, yes, the purse. Your 500 crowns for a job done at obviously some personal expense.
I appreciate your concern, and I thank you. And I'm sure we'll be seeing each other soon.
Indeed.
And he'll take his leave.
My feelings get the better of me. Nothing. Anyway. And gets his quill out and begins penning a missive to Hadron to be delivered by hand shortly. And where do you go from here?
Aurelius will head back to his quarters.
Mid to late morning, Aurelius finally arrives. Do you make any attempt to conceal the purse or anything like that?
Aurelius... No, you as a DM will fuck me if I try and hide it somewhere.
Well, I'll just make you roll for it.
Yeah. He'll hold it on himself.
Roll to Cast The Blood-Soaked Rose is a Baby Beard Media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. All our podcasts are on Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/babybeard. The Witcher tabletop role-playing game is property of Talsorian Games. Used with permission.